Okay, thank you. I love you too. Okay.
Um, Michael, if you're speaking to us, you're actually on mute.
Thank you. All right, we'll do housekeeping then. For attendees, it's best to stay on mute if you can, so we don't have to listen to people knocking on the door and dogs going crazy and all that. There's a few of you. Let me see. There's one down here, Sam Samir, down at the bottom of my list. And Sam, you have not joined the audio yet. You have the camera's in there, and in the lower left corner of your screen, assuming you're on a computer, there's something you have to click in order to join the audio. So that's what I would suggest you do. So, Linda, you're obviously not muted, and that's fine. But if things get noisy, then I'll mute you. That's the way this works. So when we'll try to do with if you have a question, you can unmute yourself and say something, and I'll stop and answer questions. If there's a lot of questions, then we'll have to go to the raise hand approach, and we can do that using there's a facility that you can do where you can raise your hand, or you can wave at me if your video is on or whatever, and we'll try to do that. Zoom works really well for a lot of things, but the audio doesn't work well for multiple people talking at the same time. Generally what happens once you have more than one person talking, then nobody can understand anything anybody's saying. So that's why we stay this way. It looks like Sam bailed out on us. Okay, so we're going to do that. I'm going to let me get rid of participants, and then we're going to get started. So today we are oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Hang on a second. I need to share that screen. Share, and this one. Okay. So this evening, we are talking about a quick start for imprinting stickers. That's what we're doing. I expect the presentation to take maybe 30 minutes, and I'm going to do a serious demo stuff of it to actually show you what I do. And then we'll open up for Q&A. Obviously, it'd be nice to do Q&A on imprinting stickers, but I'll answer questions on anything. So, and those are the stickers I tend to use. So we're gonna get started here. All right, so who the heck am I? For those of you who have not been in my sessions, that's what this stuff is. I've been around for a while, for a long time in computers. That's my spooky equipment. I have 2 GXs, 10 XMs. I have the colloidal silver kit. Centra and Plasma that I picked up in October, and I got the Scalar in 2024. And obviously, at the beginning of this, I have my contact information. You're welcome to contact me through email or Telegram or Facebook Messenger. I respond to all those. That's not a problem. So don't worry about that. So why the heck am I doing these sessions? Well, what I found is that spooky is pretty easy to do in reality. It may not look that way, but it actually is once you get it installed and started. But the screens are really busy. There's a lot of options. It's very intimidating for somebody who is a newbie or who doesn't have a lot of tech background. And so that's the gap I'm trying to fill. One of the things from my many years of doing information technologies is that I've really picked up the ability to talk to people who are non-technical and bring technical stuff to where they can understand it. So I'm really, really good at that. So don't worry about that. There's no dumb questions, and I really mean that. It's not a problem. I've on Facebook, I've helped people that, my generator, my central's not working and all that, and we traced it on, oh yeah, well, your plug is bad in the wall, or it's not plugged in the back of the central, which by the way happens every now and then. It tends to work its way out. The AC plug does. So I mean, that's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. You can ask any question, and if it's not something that's we need to cover here with everybody, we'll do it offline somewhere. We'll arrange something to talk later, because sometimes you get these questions that are just on and on. It's like, well, wait a minute. It's, other people need to ask questions, and if we have to, we'll do it privately. That's not a big deal. I do have boundaries in my presentations. I do tech. That's what I do. I can help you with stuff you've read and all that, but I'm not a practitioner. There's several doctors are on. There's Brad Johnson. They're practitioners. They do this stuff essentially for a living. I know Brad pretty well at this point. I mean, he's done treatments on over 400 people. He's got a lot of experience. That is not me. You ask me, hey, I have a problem with my knee. Well, hey, do a search and program to see what it come up with. I mean, that's what you're going to get from me. So I can't really help with how do I treat these questions. It's not my stuff. I can help with, I need to install stuff. How do I do things? I'm really good at that. And I do private sessions for free when necessary. Actually, I spent 2 hours on the phone today helping somebody set up their central who had no idea. I mean, zero. They didn't own a computer at all. And so we went through all that with them. So I do some of that as well. I have limited time for that, but I spent that time, and she was real happy when we got done. Although she doesn't have all her stuff yet. All she had was the central and the blue generator and the stuff for that. She has not got her GX Pro yet. That's coming next week, I guess. And so we'll probably end up doing another session, although we covered all the good stuff up front. Okay, so what are we doing tonight? Well, we're going to talk about what stickers are. I'm going to spend a number of minutes doing an actual demo where I'm going to actually do some stickers and all that sort of stuff. We're going to talk about some technical stuff for imprinting stickers. I have, as part of the presentation, which will be available for all this in this PowerPoint, there'll be a PDF version of it, so you have all this stuff as part of it. I record both sessions. I'm doing one tonight at 8 p.m., this one at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I have one at 1 p.m. London time I'm doing, which is the same information, but I record them both, and they'll both be available to everybody who signed up. That won't be a problem. And I have a sticker preset that I've set up, and we'll talk about that. That's all part of what's going on. And then most of these things tend to do a lot of Q&A, and we'll do that. So, but the idea here, it's my next one. The idea is I'm doing the basics. I am not doing a full imprinting session of how it works and how do you imprint this, and and now I'm not doing that. This is a quick start for stickers, and we'll talk about some of the other stuff. But that is what we're doing, and I'll show you why. That's the next slide. What do I do with stickers? Well, I like them for spot treatment. For instance, actually, I had a problem with my foot last year. Actually, I broke a bone in my foot. Those are really painful. And while I did all kinds of contact mode and some other things with it at the time, I also did stickers for it. And the stickers, I like them for spot treatments. If I have a problem with my foot, my knee, a headache, whatever, I think they're great for that because I make them, I stick them on the spot and I replace them when I need to. So I really like them for that. I give them to friends. Anybody who's been in spooky for a long time, you really like doing spooky stuff. Most people do, but oh, I have this problem. Well, how many generators can you dedicate to someone? That's one of the problems. You've spent money on the generators, you use them for other things. And so sometimes I do that. We have a friend who lives about 2 blocks from here who was in a serious car accident a month ago. Really serious. I mean, she only spent a couple nights in the hospital, but she was banged up, bruised up. She rolled the car a bunch of times. I mean, she has really bad back problems to begin with. Actually, she was driving to Texas from Mexico for back surgery when she wiped the car out. So she ended up going back home. And so I actually dedicated 4 generators to her doing remote stuff. And that really helped her. And I could do that, and because she was a close friend and that sort of stuff. And that's the one that that's an example of the stickers may not be your best choice for that. It might work for some of the spots, but on the other hand, my next door neighbor, he has a knee problem, and so I make knee stickers for him, and he loves them. He wears them for a while, and he can wear them for days. We'll talk about how long later. And it's really made a difference for him, and it's real easy for me to do. So it takes a little bit of time. It takes me usually an hour or two to make a small batch of stickers. They're low cost. I get the stickers from, and I have a link for this later on. I get the stickers from Amazon. It costs me $10 US for 1,000 stickers. So it's very efficient from that point of view. So I like them that's why I like them and I use them. So what am I going to do in the demo? Because I'm about to launch into that. Well, I'm going to erase my stickers. I'm going to place them in a remote. I'm going to do a shell, add frequencies. We're going to save it, the whole 9 yards. We're going to go through and actually make some stickers. That's what I'm doing. So before I get started, are there any questions about that? People? All right, then we're going to move on. This is the demo. So let me share this. This is the device in my office. Let's see, which one do I want to use? We'll use this one. No, I don't want to use it. Anyway, so this is in my office where I am, and so I have at the moment I have 9 generators in here, and out of those I'm running. I'm using 3 for actual remote stuff. I'm using 3 for stickers at the moment. And I've got 1 for colloidal silver. At least it was running colloidal silver. But I think I disconnected that. Yes, let's stop that. So I've got a lot of things I do. And so one of the things I mentioned is I actually have 3 different spooky stations, if you will, in my house. I have that for a reason. Here in my office, this is where I do most of my remote work. This is where I make my stickers. That's what I do in here. And I run remotes, and you can see right now I have 9 remotes hooked up, and most of them are doing something. In my living room, next to the recliner sofa I have, that's where I have my central. So if I'm going to do plasma stuff, you want to be comfortable for it and all that. And so sitting in my chair in my office would not be a good option. So that's where the plasma is, which is run by a single XM generator. And that's where my XM Pro is. That's there because, gee, what if I want to do contact mode biofeedback, that sort of stuff, or I'm doing laser treatments or PEMF stuff. It's nice to be comfortable for that stuff. That wouldn't be in my office. That's why that stuff is there. And finally, in my bedroom is where my scaler is. And I have an old GX, not a GX Pro, in there. So when I want to run frequencies there, I can do that. On all those, I actually remote control. So I'm sitting here in my office, but yet I'm looking at the computer in my living. Actually, I'm looking at the office one as well, but it's not on this computer I'm running on, and I can see the other computers as well from my desktop computer. So if I want to go change things, I can. I don't have to go open the screen on those and all that. So that's just the way I do that. And I find having multiple stations works really well. That's for me. Okay, so let's get into stickers. So the process of making stickers, and like I said, we're doing the demo first, and then I'm going to answer all your questions, and I'm open to answering questions as we go. So when I'm going to make some stuff, I go into presets, I go into here, and I have these sticker shells that I use. And and I'll talk about why I use these in a little while and how I came up with them and all that. In this case, I'm going to do this sticker shell. I've actually have two that I use. I have one for regular stuff and one for molecular weight stuff. The molecular weight stuff tends to be, you need to use a different waveform for that is the idea. So that's the reason I have two, but we're going to use a generic one. So I'm going to use this one. So, and as you well know, maybe you don't know, a shell, in this case, let's go into here. Let's go. So in presets, you have all these presets, and presets consist, there's two types. Most of the presets are here is the waveforms, here's the timing, here's the programs, everything. You just load and go. That's what those are when you're in presets. However, there's the empty presets, this one. And these empty presets, you say, okay, I want an empty preset because I want to use the programs tab. And so do I want to do contact mode? Do I want to do plasma, remote, whatever? And you select from there. Now, in the case of stickers, there isn't one, there actually is not a shell to do imprinting of stickers. That's just not in there. And so there's ones you can use, but I prefer the ones that I've set up. And you'll get access to all that stuff as part of the stuff we're here. So in my user directory, which is this guy here, the user directory, I have a sticker shell, this one. And this particular sticker shell is based on a David Halliday concept. A lot of people say, well, I'm going to use this, and because our normal thing for programs is it's going to run for 180 seconds. So if we go in here, I'm going to look at knee, because I want to do one for knees. And I need to, oh good, here's one, knee pain, all right? Notice, and it runs for 39 minutes is what this one runs, because it runs the default for Spooky is each of these frequencies is going to run for 180 seconds, 3 minutes. Well, from a sticker point of view, do you really need to do that? Well, David Halliday doesn't think so, and I like David Halliday. So there's good and bad to him. He liked this idea of this concept of chipping, that if you have a little hammer and you have a great big rock and you want to break it into pieces or maybe make a hole in it, rather than trying to do it with one big sledgehammer, if you have a little hammer and you keep tapping on a place, eventually it does its thing. And so that's what his is based on. And so these sticker shells that I've created based on his stuff, actually what it does is it runs, this is the sticker shell, it runs each frequency 20 times, but it only runs for 1 second. So it'll do it for 20 seconds for each frequency. And then I tend to run these things for at least an hour or two. So it goes through the loop a bunch of times. And you'll see that when we get done with this. So so I loaded my sticker shell preset, this guy here. So he's loaded. I went into other programs. I want to do knee stickers. So I did one on knees here for and this is the Russian database, knee pain. I double click on him. He's now in here. Now, at this point, I could load it in the generator, but I'm not going to. And I'm actually probably going to do a presentation on this next week. That's what I think of. One of the things I believe in is for me, especially since I'm a computer person, I tend to be organized, not on my desk, but I tend to be organized in the computer. And one of the things I've found over the 5 years that I've had my Spooky and the 3 years I've been doing imprinting stickers is I make a lot of different ones for different people and different whatevers, and I can't keep track of it. If I didn't save this, I would be in deep trouble. And so once I've created this, so I did my preset, I put in the program. Now I want to go save this. I go back to presets, and this is all in the presentation information we get anyway. And I'm going to save this, and I can save it anything I want. In this case, we're going to save it as a knee sticker. That's what we're going to do. But while we're here, I want to show you, if I go into and I actually notice I have all this other stuff in here. In the past, for instance, all my stickers are in here. And I have stickers back to 2021 that I've made for various stuff. That's another thing. IT people like me, we don't throw anything away. If it was worth creating, it's worth keeping forever. And so should I get rid of this? Yeah, I probably should, but I never know when I might need it again. So I literally have a ton of things that I've created, but I can go back and find them. At least if I named them correctly, I can go out back and find them and try to run them again if I like them. What I should be doing is what Brad Johnson suggests. I should be keeping notes on this stuff, and the stuff that I like, I know. But right now I've got, a couple hundred out there, and I don't remember which is working, which don't. That's what I've been doing in the past. Now, actually, I've gone to another system that I'm moving over here where I'm actually structuring things by users, by people I've made stickers for. Because I'm doing more. I mean, I'm not just doing one-off stickers these days, it seems like. For instance, my mother-in-law had throat cancer, and so which is just terrible. So she went through chemotherapy and radiation for it, and which you don't want to do. It's really bad. And they live 1,200 miles away from me, and we were up visiting. And when I travel, I usually take at least my Gen X Pro with me and stuff to do things. And so, if you're there for a couple days, what can you really do? Well, there's actually a sticker out there for, let's see, is it in here? It should be this one. There's one for radiation burns. Okay. There's a program for it. So I made some stickers for her. I made her a bunch of stickers, and I was there in the afternoon and made them for her, and she couldn't put them on where the radiation was, but she put it an inch or two away. And I came over the next day and I said, okay, tell me what's going on? She goes, well, I put it on, it didn't do anything, but after 2 or 3 hours, it felt a lot better. And the next day it was working so well, she quit taking all her pain medication, which is, she was on these serious opioids because it's very painful. And so that's a win as far as I'm concerned for stickers. I like them a lot for that. And there was just no way I could treat her with anything else other than remote. Couldn't do contact mode on there. I mean, but stickers, like I said, I like stickers because you put them on where the problem is. So I like that. So that works really well. But I've started organizing it by people at this point because I've got more and more people I'm doing stuff for. And so I'm trying to do that and see if that works out. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, so what we're doing is we're going to say we save this as a knee sticker. So if we go back to, let's see, we have this in here. Is it still in there? I think it is. Yes, it is. So we're going to presets, then we're going to do a save. And I'm going to overwrite that one. Knee sticker. And so voila, it is, what was that? Oh, that's because it's in here. All right. Uh-oh. So one of the downsides of what I do for my computers is some of the stuff can take a long time. And knee sticker. I just overwrote my knee sticker. Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll do it again. We went to here. We went to programs. It's still knee pain. Then we go back to presets. We do a save. Overwrite knee sticker. I forgot I loaded something else. So now we have knee sticker. Now the advantage of this is when I go to load this, so load this, we go to control tab, overwrite generator, put it in 42. It actually says knee sticker. That's what it's going to do. So makes it real easy to see what the heck is running on these things. Now, we're all ready to actually put stickers in, but we haven't made any stickers yet. That's what we're going to do next. So let me switch cameras. Let's see. I want to stop share. And then we're going to video. This webcam. If this works. That's me right there. Okay, good. All right. Yep, that's me. All right. So first we have roll of stickers. Like I said, $10 US for 1,000 stickers. I only make 4 at a time. There's a reason for that. I'll talk about that later. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off 4 of these little puppies, just like that. So now I have 4 stickers. Okay. The next thing I do is I have this magnet over here, which looks like this at the moment, and I can use any magnet. And I like to erase them. So I just run this along the back a little bit to make sure it's erased. So the stickers are supposed to last forever, which they don't. But when they do, what the things that are bad for them is that's really bad if you have sunlight or if you have pen. All right. You have sunlight or you have magnetism. But I don't know what magnetism, what frequency's been around these things before I got them. So I erase them. So it's erased. Now the next thing I do, using a magic marker, I write on what they are. Need. And I put a date on it. 5/31. So I put that on all of them, but I'm too lazy to do that. So the reason I do that is I had a friend who actually bought a spooky because he had these terrible leg cramps. That's what he had. And so I was making him a lot of stickers for that. And he decided to buy his own, which was fine. And it worked really well. But for him, he found that the stickers after 4 or 5 days just weren't as effective. So he was making them every day, every third day, that sort of stuff. Now, I don't know why. I wasn't over at his house. I don't know what he was doing with them. My understanding is that for most people, if you keep them away from sunlight and keep them away from magnetism, they should last theoretically forever. Forever is a long time. I don't think anything lasts forever. So anyway, but they should, if you take care of them, they should last easily months. And it's not like it's not that hard to make more. So keep that in mind. So once I have 4, like this one, then I'm going to cut this into individuals. So now I have 4 of these. I'm going to group them together so they're nice and neat. And then I have my generator right here, and I like them face down because that's where they're, I just stick them in here and shut it. And that's it. I mean, now they're in here and this thing is ready to rock and roll. So now if we go back to my main stuff here, we'll go back to my main camera, and then we will go look at this guy. So this is 42. So we've loaded this in, and now I'm going to start it. Now, this particular program runs for 2 minutes and 19 seconds because I'm only doing 20 seconds per frequency. And notice it's shifting through, it's doing each frequency for 1 second a piece. And eventually, when we get down to, say, what, 13, 14, when we get down here to 21, it'll change frequencies, just like it's supposed to, like it did. And so this whole thing for that, which was a 38-minute program, I think, 39-minute program, is going to take 2 minutes to run through the first time. But I like to make sure it's done. I mean, from my point of view, I will run this thing for an hour or two before I take them out and move on to something else. I will run it. I'll run it probably at least through twice or 3 times. If I had something that I need a sticker right now, I'll run it through at least twice before and then I'll take 1 sticker and use it and leave the rest of them in there to cook, if you will. So that's the way I do that. I mean, it works really well for me. I've got a lot of successes, and that's the way I approach this. Okay. Again, it's a very simple approach from that point of view. So let me go back to my presentation. All right. So that's how I'm doing holographic stickers. Now, how did I learn about stickers? Well, this is all in the presentation you're going to get. I did searches in the main Facebook group for holographic stickers, and there's a bunch of information. There's a really interesting fast original method, which that PDF is also in the documentation that you're going to have access to with the videos. So there's a separate PDF for that, which is kind of interesting. And that's the what's her name? I can't think of it. Basically, the original stickers, they'd run it for 30 minutes or whatever, or 3 minutes a piece. And then the Stephanie she came up with a different one where you could do more and shorter time and all that. And I kind of liked it. So I did some of that. Ruth, do you have a question? No? Okay. Yeah, you're muted, so don't worry. Just trying to make sure. Della, do you have a question? Can you unmute?
Before I forget it, you were just showing back one screen, the timing where you did it. You showed where you did timing and how you could do, instead of 38 minutes, you
Right.
could do, can you show that a little slower?
I can. Let's see. Let's go back to
Unless
share.
it's going to be in something that I can look at again.
Well, let me go back here real quick. One of the things that you're going to get in this, and what I'm going to cover later, is these presets, this sticker shell DH 1 second and this
Yeah.
MW, which is not that I actually that's part of the package you're going to get from this. And I have a screen of how to download it, install these particular ones.
Okay,
So, but essentially, it's done here in the programs tab that I'm repeating frequency 20 times. I'm going to repeat the sequence forever. And this dwell multiplier, I'm changing. One of the problems with the Stephanie Ah method, which I don't like, is what she would have to do, you do, is you'd go get all of your frequencies, all your programs you'd want to run, and then you'd save it as a load program, as a custom program, and change the dwell time or whatever to 10 seconds per frequency. That's what she recommended. The problem with doing that is I forget that I did that. And then when I do apply feedback and I save it, now they're set it for 10 seconds. And so I never liked that, but I was living with it. That's one of the things I actually liked about the David Halliday one. He does it this way. So all you do, you just add the programs you want. You don't have to change anything. I really like it. It's a much cleaner way to do that. That's one of the reasons I used it. Also, I like David Halliday, and his logic that he put in the notes made sense to me. And I don't know about you guys, but one of the things about Spooky that I've found, you know, some people, especially the newbies, think, oh, here, I should just be able to plug this machine on, turn it on, press the heal button, and voila, whatever's wrong with me is going to be fixed. Well, Spooky doesn't work that way, as most of us know. And so there's a lot to think about. And some of Spooky, because if you look at this knee stuff that we have on the screen right now, there's knee cartilage, there's knee joint pain 1 and 2. And so which one of these should you use? And trying to figure that. Well, a good chunk of that is going with your own feelings. I mean, well, that one looks like, I'll try this one and try this one. I mean, so if I was going to do stickers for this one, I'd try this, and depending on the knee pain, I'm not getting a shot of morphine. Okay, I'm not going to get relief in 5 seconds, and it's not a shot of whatever it is they put in joints to heal those, where it's going to feel better tomorrow after the shot quits hurting. It takes time, and so even with this, I would, if I was going to do knee pain, and I'd probably put more than just this one in, but whatever, I'd try the sticker for at least 2 or 3 days. If that doesn't work, then I'd try some other knee pain stuff. It's just like the remotes. I mean, you do in the remotes, you do this and this and this. The rule of thumb for remotes is, if it doesn't improve in a week, you need to find some different programs. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. And obviously plasma, which is really high powered, plasma, you give it about 3 days. If it doesn't prove stuff, if it doesn't change things, then you need to find different programs. Because the issue for us that are really believers in Spooky is that if it doesn't work, you're not using the right frequencies. That's what it boils down to. It's not that the technology doesn't work, because there's literally tens of thousands of people that know and have experience, and it works. So it's if it doesn't work for you, you're doing something wrong, and maybe you're doing the mode is wrong, or maybe you just need to find some different frequencies, and there's lots of them out there. Go do one for colds. There's 70 different cold programs. And that's just the way that, is. So if it doesn't work, find some different programs. Anyway, so we'll talk a little bit more about these presets. And like I said, the instructions for doing this, and we're going to demo that as well, is how the heck do I get these into my Spooky program? So that's included. I've really tried to be as thorough as I can with this. And again, this is targeted at newbies and non-techies. So it's like, well, here, just go load it from this and put it in this directory. That's easier said than done. And so that's why I've tried to do it here. Okay. All right. So back to, where were we? We were in here. All right. So these, so I've looked at this PDF, which is included. You'll get that. There's a blog on printing stickers. That's pretty good. There's good video. This is a really good video on printing anything. And there's another one for YouTube for Spooky holographic stickers. I mean, there's a lot of resources out there, and you really should look at a lot of them. But that wasn't the purpose of this presentation, is to get you started with something I know works. Does that mean it worked for you 100%? No, but it'll get you started. And for instance, I'm like I do a lot of stuff to support Brad Johnson, and Brad doesn't like what I do at all. He doesn't. This is not the way he does stuff. But that's okay. everybody has different things. So again, so I'm using, they're simple, they work. I use a modified David Halliday method because he hit the David Halliday method only hit the stickers for like 1/10 of a second. I decided that was just too fast. I move at a slightly slower pace than that. So I do 1 second at a time. The Stephanie Ah method is more complex to me, but there's a lot of good information in it. That's why it's good to read that the PDF document that I have. We're going to get to that in a second. So before I move on from this one, so these other YouTube videos and all that, you can imprint almost anything. I've seen stuff today on the Facebook group. Can I imprint copper wire that's encased in plastic and all that? And I don't have the answer to that. There's lots of things that you can do. I've actually, in the past, I have imprinted water, and then I decided that wasn't working enough. So I started mixing the water 50-50 with Jack Daniels, and it would imprint that. I felt that it would hold it better. My friend who actually got me started in Spooky, he liked that idea. So he was putting it in Jack Daniels honey because he loved drinking that stuff. And so he'd put the frequency in there so he could drink even more of it, was the idea. And with that stuff, I was using, I actually used the laser to do that, the cold laser to imprint. I've used the PEMF coil, which Brad Johnson really likes, the PEMF coil. I've imprinted using my radionics, I've imprinted that way. And then I've imprinted bracelets. There's various things out there. People have done all kinds of stuff. What I've found for me is I like the stickers the best. I think it works the best. I'm very happy with it. And that's how I do 95% of my imprinting is with the stickers, which is one of the reasons I'm starting here. And I find it super easy to do. And so that's why it's a quick start. Okay. Moving on. All right, sticker presets. So one of the things you're going to get in here is, and you'll get the PDF, which you can actually link on, just like I'm about to, probably, if it works. And this folder that's going to look at is the folder for this session we're doing. So let's see if I can get it to open. Oh, hey, it did. Let's see, am I seeing the share? Yes. You should, that's not what I want to do. Let me go do something else. So let me go back to and share back to this. Hang on a second. This is stop share. And we'll go to, let me go get this real quick. And that's not what I want either. Get the link. Everything's a project. Let's see. Let me go find the real thing so I can get the link. Not there. I don't know. Let's see. Hang on a second while I get this. The link. See. Back to Chrome. So you can see how this works. And it should work for you if you double click on this. If it doesn't, be sure and let me know, and we will get that solved.
Michael,
Yes.
I noticed the newbie that you did a couple of weeks ago and you sent the email out.
Yep.
I went to the Google Drive and there's nothing in it.
And I corrected that. There's
Okay.
a new one for that, and you can text me or whatever. And because one of the things that I decided I didn't like my naming convention and I renamed it, which is not a good thing to do for Google shared drives. And so I fixed that since then. So this particular one goes here, and I just tested it. This is where we are. This is in shared presentations. This is for today, even though it has last week's date in it. I'm going to leave that like it is. And these are the 2 sticker shells that are in here. This is what
Okay.
so if you click on the link, you're going to get here. So if I want this one, which is the one we want, and I click on it, actually I click on it, and then I want to do a download. And I can right click, by the way, if you use that. I want to download
So that
this.
the email that you sent, that link doesn't work anymore. to
Not the
Google
original
Drive.
one. I tried
Okay.
to send it out again, and I'll take a look at that when I send this out. And see if I
Thank
can
you.
if I can clarify that. So
Thank you.
anyway, here we are, and I want to download this, and I'm going to download that into my downloads file. which I don't have to. I could actually put it on the C drive, but I'm not going to for a bunch of reasons. So I'm going to put it in my downloads folder, save, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So I've now downloaded them. The downside of what I've done is this is on my desktop computer, not on the spooky computer. And so what I need to do is if I go into this guy, and then we go into new share. Where is where are you? File Explorer. So I'm in File Explorer now, which is your normal stuff. And if I go into downloads, I've got these two. If I click on that and click on this one, by the way, I can click on two of them and I can say, I want to copy these because I'm not going to cut them. I want to copy them. And I should be able to go into this PC, local disk, and I think I have a Spooky. Yep, I do have a Spooky 2. Spooky 2. And I need to, I didn't put I should have, but I was doing this too late. I didn't put all these screens in the procedures, but I will do that tonight or tomorrow morning. All the stuff won't go out until sometime tomorrow anyway, because it's got to include the video from tomorrow. So anyway, so we're in here, and then we go into preset collections, user, and that's where these things are going to go. And I'm going to do a paste there. And that's how you get it. That's, you know, and so if you're familiar with Explorer, it's easy. If you're not, but I can't assume that, because like I said, this is for newbies and non-techies. You may not know what Explorer is, so I will make sure that that's in the instructions for this of how to download this, because I think I have another document for that. If I don't, I will. The document of how to get these sticker shells into your presets so you can use them, because you know it's simple if you don't have to do that stuff. But once you've got it over there, then you don't have to worry about copying it. It's just like we said, you're going to go into presets and the user, and you're going to pick the sticker shell and then add your programs and save it and run it. It's really quite straightforward once we do that. Let's go back to this. Okay. So essentially you're downloading it and you get it from here. You're going to copy it from downloads to C Spooky user. And I just did the demo. Okay. Common questions for this. What time is it? Okay. How long do they last unused? Well, they should last a long time. I don't, they should easily last a month if you keep them out of sunlight and away from magnetism. If you put them on and they don't work, make new ones. I mean, that's what it boils down to. And if you're going to give them to your friends, make sure they understand no sunlight or whatever. How long do they last once they put them on? Actually, my next door neighbor has rotator cuff problems, and she's using these sticker set, and they work great for her. And she puts them on. And she'll wear them for a couple of weeks, literally. You know that these stickers, and you know if you don't like glue on your skin, but I mean, I just literally these things peel off, and I stick them on my skin directly, and they'll last me several days. I'll wear them through showers. That's not a problem. If you give them to somebody, and they and they they fall off, they can put them back on with a Band-Aid if they want, as long as they're still shiny, that sort of stuff. So they last a long, long time. That's not a problem. How long does it take to make them? Well, as you can see, you can make 4 of them in just a couple hours. Can you guys hear those dogs? I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Okay, so it only takes, I mean, it takes me a couple hours to make a batch of 4, and I only do 4 at a time. I do 4 at a time, depending on who you talk to. Some people say 6 or 8, some people say 1. I found 4 works really well. I've done 6 or 8, but I've settled on 4, and that's what I always make now. I make 4 at a time. If I need to make them for next door, I'll come and kick them off, run them for an hour or 2, take them out. And one of the things I do is I have a bunch of bags that I bought that look like this. They're little bags. And I put my stickers in there for whatever. And I don't mix them. It's like, okay, these are for back pain, these are for whatever pain. That's where they go. And the bags cost almost nothing. And that was just a way for me to organize it. So that works pretty well for me. So all right, so let's see. I think where we are now is open Q&A. So that's everything I have for this. Again, tomorrow or Sunday, you'll get, everybody who signed up will get a link to the everything to that same directory. And that's where the PDFs will be. That's where the videos will be. Everything will be there, and you can use it directly from there. Okay. So we're going to do some questions. Let's start with Judy.
Yeah, hey, Mike, thanks for taking care of us tonight. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to know, as far as the efficacy, when you compare the stickers to using your, let's say, your nail and the remote, can you compare that for me, since you seem to be a user of both?
Personally, what I find is, and this is a controversial statement. I know Brad would really disagree with me. I personally think the stickers work better, but I use them for point of contact. So my knee is hurting, and I actually do it that way. If the remotes are great, but don't forget the remote is transmitting through your DNA, so all the frequencies are going through your entire body, and it's obviously the least powerful way to do stuff, and that's not bad, and I think it works great. But for me, because I tend to do very specific areas, I think the stickers work better personally. That's what I really believe. Okay.
Okay, so
yeah.
am I still on mute? Okay, so you
No.
had mentioned about how they last forever, but obviously you don't reprint the same sticker. Those get pitched, right?
Yeah, I never reuse stickers. At $10 for 1,000, it's not worth it. So
Okay, yeah, I understood that differently when you said it, and I thought that didn't seem right, but yeah, I wanted to ask on
yeah, one of the things that happens.
that.
One of the things that happens for me, I'll get to you in a second, Leon, is that that if you wear them long enough, the sticker actually wears off. So, Leon, let's see. Thomas, can you mute? I'm trying to talk. I'll mute you. Okay. So the actual silver part will actually wear off, and it becomes a clear sticker. And so obviously, if that happens, there's no more frequencies in it because they were contained in the metallic part. So
Okay, and what kind of magnet did you use on that? You said you erase it?
yeah, I mean, these were some really nice, high power magnets, but I've just used refrigerator magnets before. It's not a big deal. You don't need anything special. And I don't know how much of a difference it makes. It's just part of the process I do, because in some of the videos I watched, they really recommend you do it. So I said, what the heck? So I do it. It takes 2 seconds. So, and I'm a
Okay.
magnet. And you use any magnet. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let me move on to Leon, who has his hand up. Leon,
Hi,
unmute. There you go.
thank you for your presentation. As you said, you use for stickers your XM generator.
Yeah,
but I have a GX Pro.
Mhm.
Would it do quicker, or it's the same time?
It's the same time. It's the same time. The difference
Okay.
between the GX and the XM is really frequency response. The GX will go has a much higher frequency, but the XM they have a way they do this to where to hit the same frequencies anyway. So there's no advantage to using a GX for this. The XMs work fine.
Okay. My next question, as you just said, for these 4 stickers, you do it like 1 hour or 2 hours running it and running, but like other way, and you said that you also imprinted the water with laser, right?
I've done that, yes.
So if, let's say, I have a small, like 1 ounce of a bottle and I would use twin, how long would you think? Because water is slightly different than your sticker, right?
It is. My personal opinion, number one, is the presets that I've set up are specifically aimed at doing stickers in a remote. If you're
Okay.
going to use the laser to imprint, you're going to use a laser. You're going to use a laser preset because that's what you have to do.
Right.
And in which case, when you add your frequency to it, they'll be the defaults. It's going to do 3 minutes of frequency. So in the case of the knee stuff we did, the knee stuff that we did was takes 38 minutes. It's going to take 38 minutes to run through the whole thing. I'd run at least 2 cycles through before I'd use it, at least. And I believe that water and oil and all that take a lot longer to imprint. I know Brad Johnson, when he does stuff, he likes to do paint stuff in olive oil or almond oil or that sort of stuff. He'll put it on his PMF coil and run it for 2 or 3 days to get fully printed. And he really likes it. He says it works really well, but it takes that long. So I think the stickers imprint a lot faster because they're metal, and so that's the way I see that. But yeah, you can do that.
Okay. The last, like you also said, like we can imprint, let's say, piece of copper, let's say the size of sticker.
Yep.
So my question is like, if let's say I do that, I would also run it, let's say 2 hours.
Yeah, anything you could stick in a remote, I run as if it was a sticker. So I'd use my same sticker remote for it, shell, and I'd add the frequencies in, and I'd run it for a couple hours. That's what I would do.
Thank you very much.
Okay, hang on a sec. Thomas, you're next.
Yes, sir. The question I have is, last week, we just started running stickers last 10 days.
Right.
And I discovered a thing on Right for Life where a gentleman, Ernie Rowe, was putting 1-inch stickers like you were operating with, and we are too, on acrylic discs and then putting them in a pocket. And so we started doing that this week.
Yep.
And what are your feelings on that, Michael?
Well, I have a bunch of acrylic discs, and I've done that before. It all depends what you're trying to do. I mean, you know, when I'm working on a knee problem, I don't see any point in having an acrylic disc because I don't want to put the sticker on where it hurts, literally. And so that's what I do with that. On the other hand, actually, the guy who got me the Spooky, he used to do stuff, and he had them on like plastic business cards sort of stuff, and he put them in his back pocket, and that's great if you're trying to treat your whole body for stuff. But frankly, if I was going to do that, I'd use the remote and fingernail. Now, if I'm trying to help my neighbor next door do stuff, and I don't want to do a dedicated remote, then putting on a sticker and on an acrylic disc or whatever is a good idea. I know that David Halliday, his belief is if you're trying to treat the whole body, what he actually recommends, if you use a holographic sticker, stick it to the inside of your left arm, literally. And that's near your body all the time. And it has to do with energy stuff that I don't understand at all. But he likes that. I mean, I've just read it, and I've had my wife do that a few times for a few things, and it seems to make a difference. I think for her hormone stuff, we've been doing that to try to balance her hormones better. Because it's like, where do you put it? I mean, hormones are done in this part of your body and controlled by your brain, and so where do you do it? So we've been doing with that. So yes.
The example that one gentleman or what one lady gave was allergy for her son. Her son, she gave him a disc. He had it in his pocket, and it stopped his allergies.
Yeah.
He lost it. So she remade him another one, and within an hour, his allergies went away. And see, that's like you said, it's not like a knee pain. We're talking allergy,
right.
like anxiety in my family, and that's where we're using it at.
Now, I'll be honest. I had a sinus infection 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'm the sort that I did it at home. I made 2 stickers, one for, and I stuck them here in my face. Drove my wife crazy, but it's like, yeah, I'm at home, I don't care, and it got it close to it. But yeah, I could have put it on an acrylic disc, or I could have just left it on the backing and put it in something, although it won't last as long. But the acrylic disc worked, and so I've done that as well, and they're cheap as well. I have a bunch of them.
Wow.
So
it's funny you say that because my daughter has just had a nose surgery and has horrible sinus pain, And dude, I'm putting them on her forehead.
I would. I mean,
Okay.
now, she may
Thank
not want to
you.
go out in public with that, but and my wife wouldn't, and she didn't want me going out in public. But I don't, that's one of the advantage, if remotes are great because you can treat anything. Any of the other modalities, depends on a lot of things, but stickers, you can do anything with stickers pretty much. So I
Okay.
like them for them.
Thank
Okay,
you so much.
let's see, who do I got? Who's next? Judy, let me answer a couple questions here. I'll get to you in a second, Judy. Somebody, PJ, said the hollow side of the sticker needs to be against the skin at required tape. Well, I've read that as well, but from my point of view, the thickness of the adhesive on the other side, I don't think it makes any difference. And when you talk about you can stick it over here or you can put it on a medallion of some sort. I personally don't think you need to put the holographic side against your skin. And I don't ever worry about that. I actually peel it off and stick it to my skin. Some people, by the way, are worried about allergies to that stuff. I don't have any, so it's not a problem for me. So that's what I think about that side. Yeah, and he said, yeah, not sticky side, stick them. I stick things to skin. That's what I do. Face out, said not to peel paper. Okay. Would stickers work for kidney stones? It's an interesting question. I don't see why not. Again, it depends on your delivery stuff. Personally, if you have kidney stones, I personally like to use plasma if you really want to know, because it's the most powerful one to do. Next from that would be contact mode. Again, that's another amplified stuff. I would think it's going to work better than stickers. If you can't use it, then thinking remote or stickers, I think will work. I really do. I wouldn't have any problem if that's what I need to do. If I had a friend with kidney stones and I couldn't dedicate anything else to him, I would certainly put that stuff on some stickers and have him put them on. And if he wants to put on 4 stickers at a time, knock yourself out because they're cheap. I mean, that's what I think. Okay, let's move back to Judy. She has even more questions.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, this is just quick, but can you imprint a sticker and then put that on the outside of a glass of water you drink? That's part one, and put 2 gallons of water at a time. Could one sticker, or would it be several stickers? And could it treat that much?
I've done that. I have. My wife has a water bottle she takes with her all the time, and I've put stickers on that. And I've never tested it. I know there's some really interesting people that have been playing with freezing water that's been treated, and I think they've done stuff with. Actually, I know they've done stuff with stickers, so they know it well. It's worked. What I've seen with them, and there's a YouTube on this. It's really fascinating. Is he had a glass of water, and he has a test glass of water. He hasn't done anything. Then he has a glass of water. He put a sticker on, and he had done the sticker for like 30 minutes, and then he had another sticker he had processed for 2 hours, and then he froze them all. And what you saw in the results is the one that he processed for 2 hours. It had a bigger effect on water. So yet it is possible to do that. Obviously, there's a limit to how much you can do with that. There is no formula for, you need 1 sticker per 8 ounces. It doesn't work that way. On my wife's stuff, I used to put 5 stickers, no, 3 stickers, 1 on each side and 1 on the bottom sort of stuff. But I'm not doing that as much anymore because she had a tendency to put them in the dishwasher that way, and the stickers are going to come off. And then they get stuck in the arms and stuff, and I had to take it apart to get the stickers out. So I tend not to do that as much.
Thank you.
Actually, from my understanding, if you wanted to imprint water, my view of if you want to imprint a bunch of water is to use the scaler. Because it's really good at imprinting water, apparently. I'm not doing that at the moment, but you can do a lot that way. The other thing I've used for imprinting water is my radionics. I used to do water on that all the time. Actually, I need to go back to that because I'm not using it for anything at the moment. Well, actually, I am using it. I'm trying to make some diet drugs with it. That what's it called? Xarelto? No, whatever that injectable is that makes you not hungry. That it's supposed to be for diabetes, but it works great for weight loss, and it's on TV all the time, so it must be great for them to advertise on it. And whatever's in there is in the molecular weight database. So what I had this thought is I'd imprint 2-ounce bottles of water and drink that, half an hour before I ate and see if that worked. But I haven't had the willpower to do that. I've made a few of them and tried it a few times, but I can't report on whether it works well or not. But you can imprint stuff using the radionics as well. Okay, what else do we have? Don't have 20 people on the call. Let's see. What kind of frequency to use for depression? Okay, for depression, I mean, I'd be out just there's a couple things I do for that. One of them is I do the usual sort on or the in the programs tab and see what I can find there. I know that for some depression stuff, there's only presets for it. And I certainly wouldn't have any problem if I wanted to do it with a sticker using a normal preset for remote, throw the stickers in there, give it a few hours, assuming it's a 30-minute program, because you want to go through whatever the program is a couple times, is my opinion. 3 times would be better. In the case of depression, what I would do is I'd stick it at the base of my head in the back. Actually, I have a sticker there right now, or this inside of your left arm sort of thing to try to get that stuff in. That's how I would handle that. But having said that, the medallion or whatever they were called, the acrylic things, and putting one on there and put it in your top pocket or whatever is probably a good idea as well. I actually bought some string so I could hang it on me like in a medallion, and I played with that a little bit, but not enough to say it works absolutely. But I do know that you can put the stickers on things and keep them on your person, and it makes a difference. So I definitely try that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, Noah had to leave. Okay, oh, Judy, let me get, you've had 2 questions already. We're getting a second question from Leon, then we'll come back to you, Judy. Go ahead, Leon.
Listen, you just told the previous person regarding creating a sticker for depression, but
Yep.
Can I ask, like, let's say if I want to do it, I go to empty shell, and then I choose like a healing, John White, and then I choose. Am I correct?
Pretty much. Let me show you what I would do. Where am I? I'm gonna find it. That's interesting. That stuff closed. Interesting. This is it. Okay, my spooky office. What I tend to do for something new is I'll go to programs. Let's see, I need to turn all these on. Sorry. All my databases. And then I do things for depression and see what I find in. And see, there's a whole lot of stuff in there. And so, yep, there's stuff I can do in there. So yes, then I would go to presets. Then I would go to my sticker shell 1 second. Then I go back to programs. I'd add whatever I want in there. And then I'd save it, then load it to a generator with stickers in it and run it. Now, some of these, look at this one here. That's depression, 729 minutes. Well, you can do that if you want. And I don't know how it's going to go, how it'll go down some, but it's that long because it has a zillion frequencies in it. So I tend to go with the shorter ones to begin with. This is a good one. This Depression Program 3 is a good one you'd want to run on a remote, because you're going to want to run this 24/7. I mean,
well, but the reason for that, because you have those presets already set up, right?
these are programs that are in the directory that are
No,
in the database.
these programs, right? But you use preset before that. If you go,
So if I use my David Halliday preset, then I go to this really long one. I add it in like that. Okay. Let's see, it'll do it. It's 23 minutes, which I don't find that too bad. I could run this 3 times in an hour and put it on a sticker. I'd certainly try it.
I understand that. As you said, you would give us those presets.
Yes, you'll get those. Yes.
Okay. Thank you again.
Okay, no problem. All right, so let me stop the share. Judy, I think you're next.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to ask you, there's been a lot of different opinions on which version of Spooky to use. I mean, I have them all the way, way back, but I see you're using 2023 of August, it looked like. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, let me tell you why I'm doing that. Let me show you why I'm doing that. I am doing that. It's not because I want to use that version, by the way. I'm doing that because I think it's in here and in photos. It's not the one I want to see. Hang on. This one. No, yeah, this one. This is my living room computer. Notice it is in my hand. This is called a mini PC, and I bought these probably 3 years ago, and they are slower than dirt. I mean, they're unbelievably slow. But actually, once they load up, they work really well. The problem is the one in my office that I've been showing you, which is the only one left on this. All the rest of them are in the January release. I don't have a problem with running the current release. It's just that this one is so active in here, and because these little suckers are so slow, it literally takes about 2.5 hours to update it, and I just haven't got around to doing it. So I don't see a problem with running whatever. It's not an issue, and so I have 2 of these little guys, and the ones they sell now for $130 are a lot faster than these. This thing takes about 3.5, 4 minutes just to start Spooky. But once it's started, it runs fine. There's only 2, the search stuff runs a little slower and everything, but that's the way it works. But that's the reason.
There were so many opinions on the different versions all the way back to 2018, and I know your experience for years as well as me, but I wanted your thought on that. And then on the sticker, you put them on your body, which I guess that would be my first choice. And what is, as far as efficacy, between putting it just, like on a disc and putting it in your pocket versus the sticker?
My personal opinion is, because I like localized things, the closer I get to the area, the more I like it. So if the example which was used for a sinus infection, where he has someone who put it on a disc and put it in his pocket, and it worked great. I'm glad it worked, and that's perfect. And for some things that are general body things, then that's what you do it. But me personally, I'd like to stick it on the area if I can. If I can't, I'll find somewhere else to stick it. So, I mean, that's just the way I look at it. If I could stick it on someplace where it needs to be, that'd be my first choice. If I can't do that, then putting it on something and putting it in my pocket is another good choice.
Thank you.
If that makes sense. Okay, Goli, is that how you pronounce your name?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yes.
What can I do for you?
So I wanted to know, I've heard that you can mix healing with killing. So if you are doing a remote killing, can you use the stickers for healing?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
You can mix them. That's not a problem. So yes, you can. That's not an issue. If you have some healing things, even if you had other killing things, but if you had healing things, you can use stickers on those while you're doing anything else with the Spooky, including terrain. Terrain is one of those deals, the detox, where you don't want to do any killing while you're doing it, but you can do healing all you want while you're doing terrain.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Okay.
Michael, I emailed you. I wanted to know if I could get a software session with you.
When did you email me?
Like, I emailed you a couple of weeks ago, and then I emailed you. I didn't
Really?
hear back, and I emailed you today as well.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
I will respond to you.
Thank you very much.
The other email.
Thank you so much.
We'll do something. It's not a problem.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. So let's see, what else do we have? All right. Where are we? Okay, 7:12. So do we have other questions? There must be some other things, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
I have another question for you, Mike.
Sure.
You've got those 2 presets. What's the other one for?
Oh, so what it amounts to, and I'll show you the notes on this. That's the easiest way to do this. If we go here, we look at here, go to presets, and we look at the sticker show. So David Halliday the notes are great. He talks about this, and he likes using a sine wave because you don't need extra, you're not trying to do weird frequencies and all that sort of stuff. And so that makes sense. However, if you read the other spooky stuff with molecular weight, for instance, you actually, they tend to be really high frequencies, so you need more than what a sine wave can do. So what I did with that literally is I took I actually went to here, and I went to empty presets, and I went to remote, and I said, I want to do what am I doing? Substance? No. An MW emulator. That's what I did, because it uses a square wave, because it has to do harmonics and all this sort of stuff. And then I converted it to do the same sort of stuff that the David Holliday one does. So I went into programs and I changed this to 20, and I changed the dwell multiplier and that sort of stuff. So it acts like a David Holliday one. And so it says it's David Holliday, but it's not. So that's why I have it. So if I'm actually doing molecular weight stuff, like I have a hormone program for my wife, and it has a bunch of molecular weight stuff in it, I will use I'll use the MW one, with the idea that I do need the harmonics. If I'm just doing normal healing stuff, normal frequencies, then I use the DH1S1. That's the difference. It's really the difference is what the waves are. So, and I haven't done any water testing, and some of that water testing is great. You say, oh, it put frequencies in there, but you can't tell which ones. It's like everything else. You sort of have to try it. I mean, that's, and see what works for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Other questions? Carla, I see you're not muted. Do you have a question?
No, you can hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear, well, you weren't making noise, but that wasn't a problem. Since you weren't muted, I thought maybe you had a question. All right. Do we have any other questions? Well, then in that case, I'd like to thank everybody for showing up. I appreciate that. Hopefully you'll find this session as meaningful. Feel free to text me, email me, whatever if you have questions, you get stuck on something, whatever it is. I like this method because it's very simple and almost anybody can do it. It's real easy. And there's not a lot of stuff. You can learn all the details later. Oh, I wanted to learn how to imprint my dog or whatever it is. You can do that later on as you get more advanced. But I'm trying to do stuff to get people who are not technical get started on stickers. That's the reason I did what I did. Okay. Oh, Terry, you have a question?
Hey, I just thought I'd jump in here. I watched John Ellis do a presentation on stickers last week, like you're doing one, and he went through the one where you do the 0.2 multiplier and the dwell. Yeah. And one thing that he brought up, and I didn't hear you, I'd like to hear your opinion on it, is that when you take the stickers out, he said, take them out while the program's running.
Oh,
don't stop.
There's a view, and I do this. I take my stickers out, I leave it running, and I just take the stickers out. And the reason for that is this is a view that the remote has magnets in both sides of it, and if you turn it off, the view is that we'll erase them. I don't agree with that, by the way, at all. I don't think it will erase them. I think eventually it'll erase them. If you leave them there for a month, it'll erase them. And a lot of my sticker stuff, I have an electronics and a computer background. Actually, electronics goes way back to when I was in the Air Force 50 years ago, back with vacuum tubes and all that. And my view of stickers, I see it as magnetic tape recording in some way. And so you can take a magnetic tape. Remember cassette tapes and 8-track tapes and reel-to-reel tapes? So you can take, or computer tapes, you can take one of those and you can put a magnet next to it, and it'll affect it a little bit, but it doesn't erase it. What erases it is moving it around, and it changes things. And so it's one of the reasons I move the magnet around when I'm trying to erase it. I actually don't believe leaving it in the remote or shutting it off will affect it that much. But being the cautious person I am, it's like, what a big deal. I'll just take the sticker out while it's running, and then I can stop it. So I'll stop it when I take it out. This is a no harm, no foul thing, and so that's what I do. So I actually don't believe it makes a big difference, but I do it anyway. There's other people that actually put them in envelopes and pull them out all at the same time. I don't bother. I just open the clamshell in and dig them out with my hand and do it that way. So
I folded a piece of parchment paper, so
yeah,
I didn't I don't know if that made any difference. Sometimes they're a little hard to get out because they're
Yeah,
so
they are.
lip. Yeah,
They are.
because of the lip. Yeah.
But I've got, but I'm too lazy to do it any other way. So yeah, that's the way I look at it.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let me look at some questions. Can you let the sticker remote program on your stickers? What I do with if I'm going to switch out the stickers, I'm going to put the next set of 4 in, is I take the stickers out and then I actually stop the generator and put the new stickers in, put them in. The only reason I do that is for the timer. So because when I stop it and restart it, then I reset this timer, so I'll know when an hour or 2 is gone and I can take them out. But I mean, I'll swap them out. Even if I leave it running, when I put the new ones in, I still hit stop and then hit start so I can reset the timer. Let's see. So Ruth, thank you. We need to contact you to find where our recordings are, the PDF. So one of the things I'll do is everybody who signed up for that, I have your email address, because that's one of the advantages of this. And everyone that I will be sending email probably Sunday. Here's the link. Click on this, and you have access to everything we just talked about, including the videos from both sessions. So it's all going to be there, and you can do whatever you want. So Ruth, I think you'll be happy with that. Like I said, if there's, I covered a lot. I tried to simplify as much as I can, but for the newbies, you're going to have questions. Not a problem. Reach out to me. We'll answer the questions. We'll get you started and get you going with stickers, because I like them a lot. They're the cat's meow, in my opinion. So, okay. Any problems mailing stickers? No. I know people who do that. I worry about it. I don't know what their machines are doing for electromagnetic stuff and all that, but certainly if you put them in an EMF envelope, that would probably solve any of those sort of problems. It just costs more for that. So I definitely, I've seen people that put them in aluminum foil. I think that's debatable. I want something that protects more against magnetism. That's what I'm worried about. So that's, and I haven't tried mailing them, but that's the stuff. And that's a good question for the Facebook group. Post there. Hey, what do you guys think about this? And I think there's an imprinting group as well. And of course, if you ask, hey, what's your opinion is, you're going to get 12 opinions, and some people have 2 opinions that are opposing themselves. And you just have to go with your gut what that is. People do the best they can on Facebook to provide, well, here's what I do, or here's what I think you should do. No, and that's great. And that's one of the things I really like about Spooky. We have a great support group in Facebook. And there are some people who don't like it and all that, but that's just the way that is. I mean, it's always like that. So keep that in mind. Somebody asked about these acrylic stickers. I'm seeing if I have mine. Oh, there's something. These are what these look like. Come on, focus. There you go. Back here. So this is about 1.5 inches wide, and I got them from Amazon, I think. And then the brown paper peels off, and so I mean, literally just put a sticker on it, or one on both sides, so the same stuff in it. And literally, I put a string on it so I could wear them around here if I want to, but you can throw them in your pocket, whatever you want to do. And so it's definitely more durable than if you just leave them back on the backing paper. That's not all that great. So, but I honestly don't use mine very often. I haven't used mine in some time. That's why I had trouble finding it. But I have a whole box of them because they came that way. It cost me $15 for 200 of them or something. And so, but if you want that, go for it. Let us know how it works out.
Can I ask another question?
Yes.
It's not about stickers though. It's about remote with fingernails.
Yeah.
Is it okay if women have acrylic on their nails or that gel
Yes.
polish?
Doesn't
okay.
matter.
Okay,
At least
perfect.
the reading I've done, it doesn't make any difference. It's because all it cares about is getting to your DNA. So the fact that there's plastic on it or color isn't going to make any difference.
Okay,
Leon,
great.
Hi,
Leon, go ahead.
you're talking constantly about those stickers you just showed us, but we can get like holographic tape, like duct tape, which is much bigger as a sticker. Do you do that?
I've never seen duct tape that was holographic, honestly. I have, but I've played with some other things.
Amazon has it, like
Really?
also $10. Like
Yeah. Well, if it's duct tape, you don't want to stick that to your skin because it's way too adhesive.
right. It smell horrible.
But what I've done is you can buy these wristbands that are, and I've played with those, but they're too big for me to deal with. But you can buy those, you know, that help you get in and out of you know, concerts or whatever. You can get those in holographic. I have these that I've occasionally used. You can get 8.5 by 11 piece of this. You can cut out your own stuff in here. But again, I like to stuff it into the remote. I just find that the round ones work really well.
No,
And so
but if let's say I take like piece of it, like how long it would take, like really long time to process it? If sticker you use like hour, but Z tape, like let's say I don't know, 10 inches or 20.
well, I just read a post about somebody who was taking a full sheet like this, and what he said, and he was using the water test approach, is he could take a corner of it. Where'd it go? He could take a corner of it and put it into the remote, just the corner, and it would it would imprint the entire sheet. That's an interesting idea. I've never done that. That would be a whole lot easier to do if you could do that. But I'm a simple person. The fact that I can throw 4 stickers in there and for an hour or 2 hours, I just put more stickers in. So I haven't had any really desire to explore other options because I like the sticker, the 1 sticker so well. I mean, but yeah, there's other possibilities. And so
okay. Thank you again. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so what else do we have here? Just down. Oh yeah, somebody pointed out you could douse it before mailing and after and see if that works. Of course, if you're the dowser, you better mail it to yourself. That's the downside. Plastic, yeah, I know people. I've seen people use plastic coin holders for these things, and they like it. Does cutting the stickers come? No, it does not. You can cut the stickers. If you need something smaller, you can do that. I've seen people that wanted to cut it down because they wanted to stick it on their fingernail or something like that. So you can do that. That's not a problem. It doesn't make any difference to the strength or anything else. It just seems to work fine. So don't worry about that. Did you make a sticker or a root canal? You know, I've done it on that tooth before. I actually have done that stuff on that tooth. I've actually done laser stuff lately. I've been using the since I just got the root canal done. There's a root canal program that I've been running on the plasma, and I got to continue that. If my electricity stays up long enough, because the electricity went out Tuesday night and came back late in the afternoon on Wednesday, and so that wiped out a whole bunch of stuff for me. But that's what I've been doing for that. So no, I didn't make a sticker, but I would, and if I did, I'd stick it right here. I really would. For my tooth stuff, that's what I would do. And I actually have done that when I had a tooth bother me. I've used the laser because the dual laser is really good for that sort of stuff for teeth supposedly. But you know, I do that once or twice a day, and the rest of the time I had a sticker stuck on it. And so, as a matter of fact, at one point I folded the sticker up and put it inside my mouth next to tooth, and it helped. So, you know, it's whatever you want to do. Let's see. Any other questions there? I don't see any other questions. Nope, any other questions there. Okay. If that's it, we're going to call it quits. Again, Sunday, you should get an email with here's a link to all this stuff. And any feedback you want to give me, I always appreciate that. If you have other sessions that you'd like to see me do, especially because this is for newbies and non-tech people, I'm more than happy to do that because that's what I'm trying to do. And notice I'm doing 2 of these a week so I can catch the people in Europe because this is way too late for them. But this time for us, for the East Coast time, works pretty good for the West Coast, and it works for the people in Australia. So that's the reason, that's how I came up with this 8 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, if that's it, we're going to call it quits, and you'll get your email on Sunday, and we'll go crazy from there. Good luck with your stickers. Go crazy with them because they're cheap, and have fun with them. I'll see you guys later.